Dr. Schuchts, could you share with our listeners a little bit of information about your upcoming virtual conference, a 5-day session on healing the whole person?
Yeah, before I wrote the book, Be Healed, we were offering conferences, and they were open to everybody. We had people from the whole church, and we would do those for about 50 people in Tallahassee. And Father Mark Toops began to do that, and then Sister Miriam and my brother Bart was part of that. And then with COVID, we had an opportunity to extend that to so many more people with a virtual conference, like so many have done. And so now we have a 5-day virtual conference that's Sister Miriam James Heidland, that many people know, and myself teach, and it's on video. And then we do question and answer, and we do prayer experiences. And it's called Healing the Whole Person 5-Day Retreat. And you can find that on our website. It's a very powerful conference of looking at some of the things we're talking about right now. How do we enter into redemptive suffering? The healing of the sacraments, looking at our wounds, understanding the healing process. And we experience people have real healing during that week that's pretty much life-changing. So just want to invite, that's now open to anybody over the whole world. And you have the availability to do it in your own time, although we also offer question and answer and those kind of things each day during the conference.
We'd like to welcome to the Rosie Hour podcast Dr. Bob Schuchts from the JP2 Healing Center in Florida and Father Chris Aylor, Provincial Superior from the Marian Fathers at the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy. Welcome.
Just on a personal note, I have learned so much from watching your series over the last year and a half. It's been amazing.
Oh, thank you. And, we get so many great young guys, and I want to commend Bob himself. So many of our guys have gone to him for all kinds of help and assistance and direction. And I've not had the formal pleasure of meeting Bob, but his reputation precedes him because all of the guys that we have that have been part through his programs can't say enough about. So I think for them, that's also coming out of the darkness and seeing the light based on faith, the light based on God. And from everything I hear, Bob does a great job of showing them that. So
can I ask Dr. Schuchts just to elaborate a little bit on something that you just said that it made a light bulb go off in my head, where you said that we should willingly participate in our suffering.
Yeah, the phrase that we say at every Mass, no one takes their life from me, Jesus said, I give it up freely. And I think it's what changes us in trauma is something that happens to us. And even the purification happens to us. But if our will doesn't participate in it, we stay in a state of kind of an unhealthy victim state in it. And we stay stuck in our powerlessness, as opposed to if we can enter in and choose to enter into our suffering and not just have it happen to us, but we're working in it, then there's a transformation that takes place in us, that we no longer feel like we're victims to the circumstances. Now we're participating in the healing process with Jesus in the way that he did. And I think about just so much of the time, what we really hate is that feeling of being powerless and being victimized by whatever the circumstances of our life are. And this gives us a way of being empowered in it. And I think of Father Jacques Philippe in his book, Interior Freedom. And he said, and this was really meaningful when my wife was dying 5 years ago, it's not so much suffering that harms us, it's our fear of suffering. And he said something to the effect of our fear of suffering hardens us, it causes us to withdraw from relationship and from life. But as we enter in and participate in our suffering without fear, it transforms us, and we then become open and receptive and loving in a deeper way. So it's more that active participation to move from the fearful posture into a trusting. And for all of us, that's really hard, because our first instinct is to pull away in fear and to feel like this is something happening to us rather than something we can participate in.
Yeah, I love that. a lot to think about right there. I could listen to that over and over again, what you just said, and just reflect on it.
You are listening to The Digital Cafe, presented to you by the Rosary Hour podcast, a production of Travessa de Centro House Press in Porto, Portugal.
This is Father Chris Alar, the Provincial Superior of the Marian Fathers here at the National Shrine of the Divine Mercy, and it's great to be part of the Rosary Hour podcast. This mini-series on the Rosary is an invitation for anyone dedicated to deepening the why behind our prayers. And with that intention, a chance to offer to the Mother of God a genuine desire for change of heart and return to God. Thank you and enjoy, and God bless you.
You can subscribe to the Rosary Hour podcast by going to rosaryhourpodcast.substack.com. That's rosaryhourpodcast.substack.com. I was wondering, since you are the pastor of Holy Rosary Parish in Toronto, I wondered if you might have some time to help Children's Rosary and the Rosary Hour podcast to teach our listeners how to pray the Holy Rosary.
I'd be very happy to. The Virgin Mary has a very important role in the life of the Church and in the life of every Christian, so it's my honor to do so. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus.
Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen.